All right. Well, hey everyone. So I'm doing my monthly featuring local business owner a little differently this month since we're all at home, but I am beyond happy to have another fellow Vine Branch partner with me today, kind of virtually.
Yeah.
The owner of Richie's Termite, Richie Perez. Richie, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome, Catherine. Yeah, so I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, let's jump right into it. So with everything going on with COVID-19, you know, you are one of the, right from the beginning, you guys are an essential industry. So it's not business as usual, but business is still going for you guys and you're still taking care of people. But how are you handling things differently with all that's going on with COVID-19 and the stay-at-home order and just, you know, all the things to make sure people are taken care of?
Yeah, so great question. You know, we in the beginning, it was just kind of like nobody really knew, right? It was like, should we wear face masks? Should we wear gloves? Gloves, we kind of gauge, you know, what if the homeowner wants us to wear them, because the reality is, if you've noticed right now, people are wearing gloves, but they're touching everything and they touch their face.
Yes.
There's no point in having a glove on. And we know that from being in pest control industry, that you know, even as soon as you handle a product and you come in contact with the concentrated product, those gloves are contaminated. And so same thing when you're dealing with a virus or a bacteria. So what we're asking our clients to do, just to make sure that we're staying safe with them, is to have all doors opened. And anywhere there's a sink with a cabinet below it, we ask that that's open, because that's an area we have to inspect. And, you know, when we walk into a home, essentially, we don't really have to touch anything else. We have our flashlight, we have our paper to keep notes on, and that's it. So
a big thing right now is people eliminating bills. How important is it right now to continue with pest control?
So you can imagine all through the state of California, let's say, if every pest control operator was asked to stop operating, we would have we'd be overrun by rodents, and then we had the fleas going on, then we would have the roaches going on, and we would have a compounding effect to what we're already dealing with COVID-19.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can imagine that, right?
Yeah, that would not be good.
Nope. And now out in our area, we're a little more spread out, and it's not as bad. But you can imagine cities like LA or any big city would have a big problem. In fact, there was a really good write-up I posted on my Facebook page, I believe it was, and about what New Orleans is going through right now.
New Orleans is fast becoming a global hotspot for the virus. New Orleans' famous restaurants are closed to diners and are now serving takeout only. That means there's far less food waste in the alleyways for the local rodent population to feed on, and that has driven them out into the street.
Rodents looking for food. This video shows rats in the middle of the street, focused more on survival. The local businessman says rats have been running around the quarter for centuries, but he's never seen them scurrying around so boldly. With many restaurants closed in the quarter, the rats are looking anywhere for a meal.
You can imagine, you know, if we're not out there doing our job, it would get crazy.
Well, and then even when all of this settles and people are back at work, they're not furloughed or anymore, or, you know, they get to go back to normality per se. You and I were talking about, you know, okay, so now you're having to get back on track. And if you have, you know, with all the rain that we're having, you know, the ants are going to come back full force, and, you know, those pests are going to come back. And now you're dealing with more of an issue than if you just continued on anyway.
Yeah. With the ants, I mean, you know, one thing I was talking about early on when this thing started is, you know, when people started stockpiling and putting food in their homes, you know, if you get an ant infestation, sometimes it can definitely ruin your entire pantry. So, yeah. You know, if folks, you know, the money gets tight, and like we had said before, you know, the pool cleaner, the lawn guy, and the pest control guy all got to go, right? When money gets tight and folks think they're going to do it on their own. And the reality is, you know, we look like we're just spraying the outside of the home. But when you have the eyes of a pest control technician operator, you're really looking for things and where to apply the product based on visiting that home over and over again and getting to know the landscape, so to speak, of that particular structure.
Well, you know your stuff, sir. I'll tell you that much. And we appreciate everything that you do for all of our sellers for our listings. That's for sure. Thank you. I really appreciate your time, and everybody. I can personally recommend Richie's company. I mean, we use them for our sellers, as long as the seller doesn't have somebody that they already are using, and they are very professional. He's a good guy. I mean, they're a wonderful, wonderful company. So could not recommend him more highly. Richie, you were going to share, it's not a promotion specifically for these viewers, but just something in general that I love that you do, that's a little bit different than the industry standard. You want to share that really quick, and then we'll say how they can reach you.
Yeah. So, what we do is, like, anytime you hire a pest control service, most of the time they're going to want to charge like an upfront fee. So it's usually ranges between $125 or $150. And what they call that is their startup service. What we've done over at Richie's Termite and Pest Service was we just kind of really thought about that and looked at it from the consumer's perspective. And we decided, why are we charging that fee? Why has that been such an industry standard? So we really want long-term clients. And what we've done is just said, hey, we're done with that startup fee. A house up to 2,000 square foot is $37 to start a service. That's it.
Now, how do they reach you, Richie?
Well, we're pretty easy to find. We're on Facebook, Richie's Termite and Pest Service. You can find us there. You can find us at richiestermiteandpestservice.com online.
Awesome. And is there a phone number for the office if they're old school and they don't go online?
Yeah. 951-233-7697.
Awesome. Richie, Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. That's me for this month. I am so thankful that you guys got to meet Richie. Make sure to give him and his team a call. All right. Bye, everybody.